Because of your present state of health, the department's agreed to allow your husband conjugal visits.
What? When? In my cell?
No, there's a small area set aside in the grounds for couples and families, and you'll be allowed 2 hours a week.
Oh, Mrs. Reynolds, I am so grateful. Oh, no, not another letter.
This one's different. They want money. I don't suppose either of you knows how this got into my mail.
Was there any postmark this time?
None. And there've been no hand deliveries at the gate. I've just checked.
That means it's come from inside.
Exactly.
You were lucky you didn't kill someone. What were you doing on the tractor in the first place?
Well, I was...
It was my fault, Mrs. Reynolds. I asked Bobby to move it. I should have realised she couldn't drive.
Well, I can a bit, except for the steering it threw me, and thought I was getting the hang of it till the tool shed got in the way. Stan, I'm sorry,
Nothing happened. All's well that ends well, as they say.
Well, not quite. There is the matter of the shed.
It wasn't badly damaged, Mrs. Reynolds. I can repair it, and without any cost to the department.
Mr. Sloane, do you have anything to add to this conversation?
No. Like they said, it was an accident. The steering's not the best on that thing.
All right. In future, Mr. Dobson, be more careful who you place in charge of the tractor.
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds, I'm sorry.
Let's just be grateful no one was hurt. I'll let you two get back to repairing the shed. Not you, Mitchell. I haven't finished with you yet.
Not so fast, old man. I played along with you in that little mole. The two of you owe me one.
We owe you nothing. You've had your fair share of favours from both of us.
Oh, I've only just begun. I've got big plans for Wentworth. So you tell your friend in there, if she ever pulls a stunt like that again, I'll see her facing an attempted murder charge. You got that?
You're okay now. It probably got more of a fright than you did. Now, where is it?
It was on my cabinet. I walked on it with 6 ugly, hairy legs. 8. What? Arachnids have 8 legs. Oh, anyway, it's horrible. It was this big.
Oh, come on, girls, knock it off. How would you feel?
Where are you going?
To get the spider, of course. Oh, don't worry, they hardly ever bite.
Sorry to drag you out here again.
Oh, no worries. Oh, this is Detective Crabbe, Mrs. Reynolds. I don't think you met.
I do.
Right, that's for forensic. As soon as I get some prints off them, I want them fed into the computer, see if we can cross-match any of them with the women in here.
I'll get on to it as soon as we get back to the office.
You're quite convinced it's one of the women?
Well, they didn't kill my son-in-law or wreck your house, Mrs. Reynolds, but it doesn't mean he's not getting help from someone in here. Now, your Mrs. Barry's pretty certain that letter wasn't delivered, so somebody must have slipped it in with the mail.
God, I just wish it was over.
Yeah, well, we're about due for a lucky break. None of the other letters had so much as a smudge print on them. Whoever he is, he's pretty clever. We just have to hope that if someone inside's helping him, well, maybe they're not quite so cluey.
What about the money he's asking for? I can't raise $50,000.
Well, there's no way we'd let you anyway. No, we just sit tight and wait for his next move. But I'd rather you didn't go back to your place.
I wasn't planning to. Meg Morris is letting me stay with her. I need to get away from this place, too.
You're certain no one knows where you're going?
Just myself and Meg.
Oh, good. Well, just try and stay calm, Mrs. Reynolds, and get some sleep.
It's not really easy. Especially when you know someone hates you and you just can't imagine who. I honestly don't know how much more I can take. It's already affecting my work.
Yeah, well, I know what you're going through.
Oh, Inspector, I'm sorry. Your son-in-law.
I promise you, we'll get this bastard.
You're sick, Pixie. Just keep it away from me.
Listen, mate, how come everybody is scared to death of spiders and you're giving this one a christening?
Oh, well, I used to be scared when I was very little, but then Daddy got a country parish up past Beechworth. Oh, there are all kinds of creepies up there, thousands of huntsmen. But then Daddy pointed out to me which ones were the dangerous ones, like redbacks and trapdoors, so I never touched those.
Sensible child.
Did you know that a centipede doesn't have 100 legs after all?
Really? What are all those feet attached to?
Shut up! Just shut up! I can still feel it creeping on me. I hate creepy crawling. Sorry, Molly. I just want you to know they're not bad creatures. Bad creatures?
In heaven's name, have you got their
His name's Henry, Mrs. Barry, and look at his beautiful black eyes.
Oh, filthy, disgusting creature. Give it to me. I'll get rid of it.
Oh, but I wanted to keep him.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Oh, but don't hurt him.
Ridiculous. Pixie, it'll be all right. She'll probably just put him in the garden.
Oh, poor Henry.
Everything all right?
Terrific.
I was afraid Mrs. Reynolds was going to throw the book at you.
Bit of a lecture about taking care of prison property.
Good. Then there's no harm done.
No harm. Stan, I could have killed you.
But you didn't.
But I wanted to kill him. I hate him for what he's done to you. And to me. I wanted him to be dead, Stan. What's happening to me?
Oh, easy, love. You're going through a bad patch, that's all. It's all part of growing up. Only in here, it's harder than on the outside.
It's not. It's me. I can't think straight anymore. When they brought me in here, it was for nicking things. Kid stuff. Wasn't so bad. I didn't even think of it as stealing.
Bobby, I want you to know
I was on the street, see? Me mates were snuffing it. Dropping like flies all around me. I hung in. I was scared, but I knew I'd make it.
And you will make it.
No, I won't. I've learned to bash people in here. Just to survive. And I know I could murder someone if I had to. I don't want to be a killer. Gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I can't stay in here 1 minute longer if I don't.
Bobby! Dear girl, I'm sorry. That's right, you cry it out. It'll be all right.
I wish you'd have been my dad, Stan. At least then I might have had a chance.
You'll have a chance, Bobby. I promise.
Thought you would have left by now.
I was waiting to see you.
Philip, about last night.
Don't worry about it. There'll be other nights. Lots of them.
No, there won't. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Look, I do care about you, I really do, but it's all too complicated right now. I just can't handle a personal relationship. I mean, we'll still be friends. We'll see each other at work.
That's not what I want, and you know it. Look, I care, Meg. I can help you.
I can get over this on my own. I don't need some kind of romantic therapy.
Therapy? Is that what you think this is?
Well, isn't it?
Oh, for crying out loud, Meg. You're special, don't you know that? Look, I could see it the first time I came in here. I thought you knew how I felt. At least let's talk about it.
I've got work to do.
Meg, tomorrow night then.
No,
I'll come by and fix...
No. I've got night shift all week, and besides, Mrs. Reynolds is staying with me. I'd rather you didn't come round.
Hope I'm not butting in. I just came to get my stuff.
No, of course not.
Better give the missus a buzz and tell her I'm running late, eh? Engaged. She can't half yak. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right. Bye.
Yep.
Well, where were we?
We were just about finished. There's really nothing more to say, is there?
Oh, poor little thing. I didn't think Mrs. Barry would be so cruel. Insecticide.
Well, don't get so depressed, Pixie. It's only a spider.
But it's one of God's creatures, Myra.
So is the bloody freak, and no one to give a stuff, and she was sprayed to death.
You okay, love?
Oh, yeah, I'm bloody terrific. Can't you tell?
$9.50, 70, 80, 85. $9.85. Jeez, I'm rich. Whoever said betting was a mug's game was a mug, I reckon.
Yeah, well, you just make sure you hang on to it. You could be on the losing end tomorrow.
I don't reckon. I reckon my luck's running hot. I reckon that was probably a money spider.
Yeah, famous last words.
Hey, I reckon we've almost got enough money to send a really nice bunch of flowers to Dot. What do you reckon? From everybody. That way no one feels like they've lost anything.
Yeah, it's a lovely thought, Rabbit. But when the screws ask you where you got the money, just make sure
Morris!
they don't
Yes,
find
what
out
is it,
you're
Marley?
there.
We would like to send a really nice big bunch of flowers to Dot.
What a deal.
Where did all the money come from?
Well, where did all the money come from?
That's what I'm asking you.
We thought it'd be really nice to send a bunch of flowers to Dot.
Well, I appreciate your sentiments, Marlene, but you still haven't answered me. Where did all that money come from?
You're still worried about young Bobby?
Yes, love. I see so much good in her, but Wentworth, well, it's just destroying her. I feel I should be doing more.
Don't take the weight of the world on your shoulders, love. You're already doing more than your share.
Maybe. Anyway, you'll understand when you see her on Sunday. She doesn't belong in prison. She needs love, family, like us.
If the visit's successful, maybe we could do it more often, even once a month, say. I wouldn't mind. And if it makes you happy, well...
Now, that isn't enough.
What exactly do you mean, Stan?
I'd like to give her a home, Edie. Here, with us.
Can't be serious. I mean, even if we wanted to, we couldn't. She's in prison, Stan. She has to serve her sentence.
Well, there is a way. I could go to the parole board and ask for her to be released under license. That means we'd get custody and we'd be responsible for her.
And she'd live here, with us.
Well, of course.
You've thought all this out without even consulting me, haven't you?
Well, I thought you'd want what I want.
I've a right to be consulted.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of Bobby.
So was I. She's 18 years old, Stan. I mean, maybe she does need love and a family, but look at us. We're too set in our ways. We couldn't even begin to understand her, let alone help her.
Well, at least we could try. You're too afraid you'd disrupt your life. Oh. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, you shouldn't. I don't want to see a young girl spend the rest of her years in prison. But ask yourself this, Stanley Dobson. Are you trying to really help this girl? Or are you just trying to replace Mary Ann?
Charge. And all I was trying to bloody do was something nice for a change for poor old Dot.
Yeah, well, it serves you right. How bloody stupid can you be?
Oh, thanks. You're supposed to be my friend.
Yeah, well, you know we're not allowed to have money. You should have asked Mrs. Morris to deduct it from your wages.
Yeah, I know. I just forgot.
You forgot. You didn't listen. That's what it is. Myra told you, but you never listened.
What are you going on at me for? I'm the one that copped the charge. And we've already lost buyout, so Ren will probably take away my visiting and my
Oh,
dad...
will you give me a break?
Oh, look, shut up. You've got it made. You're getting out of this place for a whole day with Stan the man.
Oh, big deal. One lousy day and you reckon I got it made. You got a family and a home to go to. You probably get out of here soon. Why don't you bring your grandkids to visit me in 30 years? Because I reckon I'll still be here.
Hello? Yes, speaking. Letter? Who are you? Why are you doing this to me?
Shut up and listen. I want the money, the 50 grand.
But I haven't got that sort of money. I couldn't even raise it.
Don't mess with me, lady. How much can you get?
I'm not sure. 10, maybe 20,000. But I'd need time.
I haven't got time. I want the 20,000. You're going to get it to me tomorrow. Understand? You're going to deliver it personally. And don't try calling the cops. Any slip-ups, lady, and you're dead.
she wouldn't do that, Stanley. It's always annoyed me.
You didn't sugar it.
If you're big enough to make your own decisions, you're big enough to sugar your own tea.
Very well. Would you pass the sugar, please, Edith Ann? Edie.
You didn't even say goodnight to me. I've hardly slept a wink.
I could hear your funny little puffy snores all night, my dear.
I tell you, I didn't sleep. How could I? I can count the number of arguments we've had on the fingers of one hand.
I know.
And here we are at loggerheads over a girl I don't even know.
Yes, but that's just the point. All I'm asking is you give her a chance. Meet her, get to know her before you decide she's got no part in our lives.
I want to be fair to her, Stan. But it's not just our lives, it's hers too. I just don't think we could cope.
Well, I remember what a good mother you were to Mary Ann. I'm sure you could handle Bobby without any trouble.
Oh, well, we'll see, then.
You're a wonderful woman, Edels.
Stupid of me to think you'd be safe from that crank. You'll be under constant surveillance until we nail this guy, and I won't accept any arguments, right? All right, well, now let's go through it again. He wants the money in a sports bag, is that right?
I have to take it to the phone box at the northern end of Canterbury Park. He'll ring me there.
Right. Well, we can put a tap on the phone. That should give us a lead. I'll get a policewoman to make the drop.
No, I'll do it, Inspector.
Well, obviously that would be best, since he knows you, but think very carefully, Mrs. Reynolds. Although the place will be staked out, we're dealing with a killer.
I have to do it. I have to put an end to it once and for all, or I never know any peace.
All right, we'll set it up. Well, we've had one lucky break anyway. Forensic had some luck with the prints on the letter. At least some of them are identifiable.
The women?
Seems he's got at least one accomplice in here.
Oh, my God.
Somehow they'd found out you've moved to Mrs. Morris's place. He had to get that information somehow.
I'm sure Meg wouldn't have told anyone. It's hard for me to accept that any of the women in here could hate me enough to...
Yes, well, the first thing's to question them. If there's one thing I've learned in this job, it's never take anything for granted.
I was not scared. I was just putting all that on to make me think I was.
Hey, look out behind you, it's huge.
Oh, my God.
Oh, bull, ha-ha, very
Okay, we've all had a laugh. Let's do a bit of work for a change.
Sounds like a good idea. Judy, Mrs. Reynolds would like to see you.
Oh, sure, you're the boss.
Marlene, I phoned the florist, and Dot will have her flowers by lunchtime.
Gee, thanks, Mrs. Zen. Gosh, Mrs. Morris is thoughtful, isn't she? Glad you think
Oh,
so.
don't start that again.
Well, I was only trying to do something nice for a change, and I end up on a bloody charge.
We know you were trying to do the right thing, Marlene. You just went about it the wrong way.
Oh, never mind, Marlene. Well, blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
The words right out of my mouth.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 10.
Yeah? What do you know? What's it mean?
Well, it means, oh, golly, it's Bible, Bobby. It's very profound.
I think it means it'll all come right in the end, Robbie.
That's what they'd know.
Well, hey, I knew your father was a vicar and everything, but how come you know all that stuff? Well, Daddy used to make me read a chapter every night when I was little, or mostly the New Testament. I guess it just stuck in my brain.
Do you mean you've memorised the entire New Testament?
Well, not consciously.
Oh, do you mean you're unconscious when you learnt it?
So I suppose you could quote bits of the Bible just off the top of your head, eh? Yes, I suppose I could if I had a reason.
Yeah, bet you could. Oh, hang on a minute. You can't be serious.
Your prints are on that paper, Bryant.
Well, so what? What does that prove? It's prison paper, isn't it? Anybody could have touched it. Is that a crime?
Judy, please try to understand.
Look, I don't understand. Now, all I know is that I was brought in here and accused of trying to terrorize or blackmail you, for God's sake. You can't honestly believe that I would try and do anything like that, Mrs. Reynolds.
How'd you know where Mrs. Reynolds was staying?
What?
Oh, all right. Let's assume you're innocent.
Thank you very much.
Now, have you heard anyone talking? Any of the women discussing something secretively, trying to make contact with anyone?
Everybody talks secretively in this place. All I know is that when we were questioned last time, we didn't know why. Nobody would want to hurt Mrs. Reynolds.
Somebody does, Brian.
Yeah, well, it's not me. Can I go, please?
Right, Judy. I just don't believe she knows anything.
No, neither do I. Oh, Brian's right. Anyone could have handled that paper quite legitimately and left their prints on it.
So we're back where we started.
No, not entirely. This whole thing's a jigsaw, Mrs. Reynolds. When we nail our friend this afternoon, we'll see how the pieces fit together.
I was just telling Phil here that I think Marlene's running a book.
Odds on, I'd say.
Yeah.
Look, I figured they need something for an interest. Say like softball. Something like that.
What a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Help them develop some team spirit, too.
Meg?
Yes, sounds like a good idea, if you can spare the time.
Yeah, why not? I haven't much else to do. I'll talk to Mrs. Reynolds about it.
Oh, by the way, any more news about those letters?
No, not really. What I can't understand is how anyone knew Anne was staying at my place. I mean, I didn't tell anyone.
Well, you told me.
Yes,
Whoa.
so I did.
Wait a minute. Look, I didn't tell anyone. I think maybe I better see Mrs. Reynolds right now. Catch you later.
Right. You know, he's really a nice young chap.
Oh, how awful for poor Mrs. Reynolds. I feel dreadful if somebody sent me nasty letters like that.
Yes, pretty rough. Don't think Angel had anything to do with it.
Oh, I don't know. The last letter came yesterday, though.
What about those of us who've got fingerprints on the letter?
Look, they can't do anything if they can't prove something. Now, just sit tight.
My bloody luck, they can me day out tomorrow.
Yeah, well, don't start crossing your bridges before you come to them.
Well, ladies, I've got some good news for you. It looks as though you could do with it. Dot Farron will be coming out of hospital tomorrow.
Ah, good news, Mrs. Barry. I've sort of missed the old girl.
Well, the fact is she won't be coming back to Wentworth.
What?
Well, not for the time being anyway. The doctors think she needs plenty of rest and fresh air.
Honolulu.
Close. The farm, actually.
Well, at least Rachel can keep an eye out for her.
Oh, don't wish that on poor Rachel.
I need someone to help pack her things.
Oh, let me, Mrs. Barry. I didn't know Dot very well, but I'd like to do something to help her.
Thanks, Pixie. Good.
Mrs. Barry, do you think you could get me a Bible?
A Bible. Well, there'll be one in the library.
Yeah, well, that one's got all scribble all over it. I need a clean one.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Ah.
Come on, Pixie.
A Bible. What exactly do you want with a Bible?
Haven't you ever heard of old-fashioned spiritual guidance?
Marlene's spiritual.
I wonder what Dot would say to that. You know, you might think I'm crazy. I'm going to miss the old girl.
Well, you want to know something? So am I.
And you think it would be all right, Mrs. Barry? Because, I mean, Judy's such a good friend. Of course, she has to share with somebody.
Well, I'll have to check it out with Mrs. Reynolds, but I can't see why not, Pix.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Now, look, would you just gather Dot's things up for me,
Yeah.
and I'll go and get a cardboard box.
Okay. Oh, Judy, you're so messy. Oh, Pixie's song. You always thought of me as just a friend. You never saw the love locked in my heart. The way I thought my heart would never mend. The tears I cried each time we were apart.
I've got to talk to the other cops. Not now. You want to broadcast it. Yeah, but I've got... I'm warning you. Don't blow it. Now, what is all this? I thought the hunger strike nonsense was over with.
I can't eat. I'm too uptight. Lyle will be here this afternoon. Gonna get a bit in the shag shack, are ya?
Knock it off, fellas.
Hope you reckon I'll be the one doing the knocking off. Hey, he's half the bloke you reckon he is. Tell him to save a bit for me.
Do you want to wear this mashed potato?
Anything that'd cover her face would be an improvement. Oh, thank you, but I shouldn't let you fight my battles for me. Nah, don't worry about it. Will you please eat?
Oh, here. Saved your seat. How's that for service, huh? Hey, gonna need salt.
Did you get that stuff for Dot, Pixie?
Pardon? Oh, yes, I think I got everything.
You're a sweet kid, you know that. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Only the outside notes of each pile and the rest's paper, all right?
Yes, I think so. Oh, the undercover police, how will I know who they are?
It's better if you don't know, Mrs. Reynolds. You might just do something to give them away. We know this bloke's dangerous, but what we don't know is how many people he's got helping him. But we'll be watching every move, I promise you.
Well, that's a great consolation.
You know, it's not too late. I can still get a policewoman to do.
No. You said yourself he obviously knows what I look like. We can't risk him getting away. I couldn't live with that. I'm sorry, I'm a bit on edge.
So am I.
Well, let's not keep the gentleman waiting.
Well, aren't we the glamour puss? Who cares if you're late for work?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to look more like my old self. I don't know what time you'll be here, you see. I'll probably get sent up over the makeup.
Ah, well, ignore it. It'll be because of jealousy. Very few of us have got what you and Lyle have.
I didn't think I'd ever have it either. My first marriage was such a disaster, but with Lyle, life's fun again.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Look, sorry, we don't normally ask questions in here, but... Well, you seem to have had everything. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make much sense to me either.
I'm a great listener, if you'd care to talk about it.
We've been late.
Ah, we're late already.
Well, they do say, don't they, that you have to pay for your happiness. Well, I'm paying for mine with Tim. Tim's my stepson. And he and Lyle were everything to each other before I came along. Tim's never forgiven me for taking his father away from him.
Ah, some kids can be like that. They grow out of it.
Well, he's 19, and he's spent the last 5 years trying to break us up.
Well, why doesn't Lyle put him in his place?
Oh, Myra, Lyle doesn't know. How could I tell him? He worships Tim. I couldn't disillusion him. And besides, I thought one day I might be able to reach the boy. I reached him all right.
What happened?
He got into trouble. Gambling. Some pretty heavy types were threatening to break a few bones, and well, it was the first time he'd ever come to me for help.
And you stole the money to bail him out?
I borrowed from the bank. I fixed the accounts and the cash balances. He was supposed to get it straight back to me, but here I am, doing 2 years.
Karen, why don't you tell Lyle what his precious son is really like?
Oh, I couldn't. It would break his heart. And besides, it wouldn't get me out of here. Technically speaking, I am guilty. No, it's just 2 years. I'll just have to see it through. I won't make Lyle choose between me and his son.
Please, I have to make an urgent call.
What's your problem, lady?
If you could just hurry it up, please.
Look, it's a free country, all right? So rack off. No worries. Just some old Sheila trying to pick you up.
You know, I hear they got mice as big as rats in their visiting room.
Oh, is that right? So I suppose when we hear lots of squeaking, we'll probably have to believe it's the mice, right?
Yeah, I reckon.
Okay, that's enough, you two.
Oh, no, it's all right, Myra. Maybe Lyle and I can find a pussy to take care of those mice.
Good one, Karen.
Marlene, I found the box of Bibles in the supply room, so I put one in your cell.
Thanks, Mrs.
Now,
Barry.
anybody else who wants one, just come and see me. I can't for the life of me imagine what you're all going to do with
Oh, it's me mum, Mrs. Barry. She's real dirty on me. See, she always wanted me to be a Sunday school teacher, but I thought I'd just do some brushing up, you know?
Fair enough. Pixie. Oh, Pixie, I spoke to Mrs. Reynolds before she left, and it's all right for you to move in with Judy, just to sit as you are.
Oh, that's terrific news. I can't think of anyone I'd rather share with.
Oh, no, well, I've changed my mind. I mean, I do want to share with Judy, but not just yet. I think it would be a better idea if I share with Karen for a little while until she settles in, you know?
That's very nice of you, Pixie. Thank you. All right. Just sort it out amongst yourselves. Sunday school teacher?
Hello? It wasn't my fault. Someone was using the phone.
You got the money?
Yes, I did everything you told me, but I could only get 20,000.
And the cops?
You told me not to call you.
That's right, lady. I hope for your sake you didn't. I've got eyes on you right now, so I don't think you can get away from me.
Please, just take the money.
Okay. Feel under the ledge with a telephone book, sir. On your right. You'll find a note tape there. You got it?
Yes.
Don't open it yet. When you do, make sure you follow the instructions exactly. Okay?
Yes, I promise.
Good girl. And keep that note in your hand all the time. If I see you without that note, you're dead.
It's been traced to a public phone in Canterbury. Squad car 235 is on its way.
Looks like she got a note. He's left written instructions. He's smart. He's bloody smart. If only we knew what they were. Well, we don't know. We'll stick with her.
Talk to you yet? Sure they did. So what? Like fat stuff Bryant says. Plenty of fingerprints on that paper. They can't prove a thing. Then why the hell haven't we heard from Neville? Supposing he picked up that money and nicked off. What then? Just get yourself together. Don't you blow it for all of us. You're the one who said Neville was safe, remember? Yeah, that's right. Well, then the only thing we got to worry about is you, Lou. Get your act together. Don't make me do anything hasty.
What do we do now?
Wait.
That's the part I hate most.
Tough.
Moving towards the station. Not carrying the bag, though. Looks like our man could be heading for the car. Maybe.
Do we continue surveillance on Mrs. Reynolds? Over.
Look, she's still got the number. I reckon she's going to make the drop on the train.
Could be. Mike, get on that train. Don't lose sight of her. Keep us informed.
Oh, will you stop worrying about it? Everybody's fingerprints can't be on that little scrap of paper.
Spies. I thought he would have been here by now. Oh, Myra, I'm so nervous. I feel like a 16-year-old. That's silly at my age.
Ah, since when has there been an age limit on love? Your mascara's smudged. You better fix it before Prince Charming arrives.
Do you think they'd want to bet on that? Of course they will. Look, this is better than horses. They know if they've won straight away. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't seem right somehow. I mean, I don't want to cheat on anyone. That isn't cheating. They can do what they like with their money. And this is going to be worth a fortune. What do you reckon? Well, all right, on one condition. That we split the profits 50-50. Sure, that's fair. We'll go halvesies. Well, after all, I mean, it was your idea, and, well, I wouldn't want to take everything, now would I?
Just pulled into Rosewood Station. She's getting off. Looks like this is it. She's headed to the bus stop. No contact yet. Over.
But she's still got a handbag with her. Over.
No, she must have dumped it.
We're on our way. Now, listen, Mike.
Make contact with Mrs. Reynolds. Don't let her out of your sight. Over.
Understood. Over now.
Oh, never mind, my dear. At least you'll have some privacy. Your husband's waiting for you.
Yes, privacy. That's all that matters. Well, I'll leave you to it. I mean, I'll be back in an hour. Hello, darling.
Candy from my bag.
Give it up, mate.
Got some bastards are gonna make it!
No way, mate. I've got too many scores to settle.
Okay, I'm telling you all, this one's going to be a lot of fun. It's money in it for everyone, and it's something different for a change.
Not making enough money on the GGs, eh? Found a new way to clean us out, have your bunny brain?
Look, this one's fair and square, even Stevens, right? I lose, I pay you. You lose, you pay me.
What you betting on this time, Warren? Whether you can jump the fence if someone dangles a spider at you?
Rotten.
Okay, cut it out. Now, Rabbit, haven't you got enough on your plate with races every day?
It's only a bit of fun. There's no harm in that, is there?
Do you think she's getting a bit obsessive about gambling?
No, she's just bored like the rest of it. It's harder for her, though. She's younger.
Well, I thought most of you ladies would be outside getting some exercise.
On our way, Mrs. Barry. Walking around the prison grounds isn't exactly the highlight of our day.
Well, speaking of highlights, these might just cheer you up.
What are they?
Oh, look,
Oh,
they're
great.
fantastic.
Oh, wow. God, Cookie baby doesn't look 63, does
I've been
he?
in here a while. Anything looks good.
Oh, gosh, I wish I'd been there. Waltzing is so romantic, isn't it?
Any hope of more of these, Mrs. Barry? I think everyone would like one.
Sure, I'll see what I can do.
Well, it makes me feel energetic. Come on, let's go run around the yard.
Looks like you had a good time. Pity you missed out.
Oh, well, plenty of time for you to join in another time.
Well, what do you say, kid? You feel like a 100-mile dash around the grounds?
Oh, no thanks, Jude. Actually, I have a letter I have to write.
Nights are the worst. I try to exhaust myself so that I'll sleep. When I finally do doze off, I wake up in a panic trying to find you. I never knew I could be so lonely.
Oh, darling, I do know how you feel. Every day in here seems like a year to me. I do love you. I don't think much of the decor, do you? Early modern penitentiary, would you say?
It doesn't matter. I'm trying so hard to understand, but I still don't know how all this happened. Why did you take that money?
Darling, not now. We've got such little time.
From anywhere in the Bible, and I tell you in less than 30 seconds where it comes from.
Sounds good to me. I reckon I could catch you first up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and what's to stop you from just looking it up?
In less than 30 seconds. Oh, yeah, look. You have it. I swear I won't even touch the Bible.
Scared of what might jump out at you, eh?
Rabbit, what are you up to?
I was just wondering what was going on with Karen and her old man.
Yeah, well, stop wondering, because it's none of your business.
Hey, you mean they're up there right now doing it?
Yeah, what a hoot, eh?
Reckon.
Hi. Can I come in?
Oh, yes, of course. I was just writing a letter.
Ah. To your folks, is it?
Oh, heavens, no, they don't know I'm in here. I couldn't possibly tell them.
Hey, Pix, I thought maybe we should have a little talk.
Yes. I'd like that. I missed our chats when I was out of here.
Okay, what is it? B.O., halitosis, whatever it is, I can take it. I gotta hide like an elephant.
Oh, I don't know what you mean. Don't be silly.
Well, Pixie, you have been avoiding me all day, and suddenly you didn't want to share with me.
It's not you, honestly. It's just that... Well, maybe I could help Karen. I mean, after all, she does need someone to talk to her about a marriage, and... Well, you have to admit I am the most qualified person when it comes to marriages.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Well, you wouldn't want me to turn my back on someone if she needs me, now would you?
No, of course not. Well, I just had this awful feeling that something was wrong between us. Hey, Pix, I wouldn't do anything to hurt you, you know.
Look, I think I better finish this letter in the rec room.
Put that out, Kelly. The governor wants to see you.
For?
Well, I don't know. That's for you to find out. Now, come along.
Oh, too loud.
I don't know. She might get stroppy with us.
It's only a bit of fun.
Yeah, look, she had a joke with us in laundry, right? Come on.
I suppose we could give him heaps.
Yeah, she's quite a lady, your mother. I take my hat off to her.
Yeah. We used to be really close when I was a kid. I wanted to be just like her. And then when my brother died, we didn't talk to each other. Until Wentworth.
So the old place has done you a favour, forcing you together. Still, you got plenty of time on the outside to make up for it.
Yeah. At least I got someone out there now, eh?
Oh, no.
Wake me up to do it! You wake me up to do it! God, get stuck into it, you randy bugger! Hey, Rabbit, you reckon that's nice squeaking in there? I reckon it's more like wild elephant. What do you reckon they're doing? Reckon they'll both need crutches when they come out. Go on, got to hurry.
Shut up. Behaving like a bunch of school kids. Now get out of here.
They've gone. Darling, don't be upset.
This is all that's left for us, Karen.
Oh, no, no. Darling, I do need you.
I'm sorry, Karen. I love you so much, but I can't. I just can't.
It's a rotten lie. The whole thing's a pack of lies. You can't pin it on me.
Listen, Kelly. Neville couldn't wait to spill his guts when we arrested him. Reckoned it was all your idea. You blackmailed him into it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your fingerprints were all over that letter. And Sloane's provided enough evidence to have you convicted. I just don't understand why you did this to me.
It was supposed to be a joke, see? I mean, he wasn't supposed to go through with it. I didn't know
And
he
killing a policeman. Was that a joke?
Copper? I didn't kill no one.
Your partner did. Makes you equally responsible. It's not just blackmail now, Kelly. I'm charging you with murder.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too.